TEC&F Productions 2019 brings out the first Tank Engine Chad and Friends slideshow story. Inspired by one fan's request for an episode and based upon a classic plot concept. With images made using Microsoft Paint and Google Images, and also with the voice talents of YouTubers Trainboy54, the new Trainboy55, and me, David Hodgen. All music tracks belong to their rightful owners. Thank you all for your time to join us, as all systems shall now go. So sit back, relax, and enjoy Old Against New. Mr. Melmert's New York Railway is where steam engines and train cars from London are used in American service and kept in it since 2010. Out of all of the other railways of New York, Mr. Melmert's was the second most popular aside from the Northwestern Railway on the island of Sodor. So much, in fact, people kept coming to see it. The engines had to work harder than ever before, like it was never ending. That was when Mr. Melmert decided to bring another engine into the team. On the day of the new engine's arrival, all the engines, except for Eric, were waiting at Croven Station. I wonder where Eric is.
I don't know, Chad.
Never mind that. What I really wonder is who the new engine will be.
Me too! I'll bet he's gonna be a very special one!
Maybe un petit engine l'écu.
Or maybe un petit smile tank engine.
I sure hope it's black and white like me. Yeah, I hate to tell you this, Johnny, but as the narrator, I do not regret to inform you that the new engine is blue, and the fact that it's not at all a steamy.
A diesel? Hopefully it doesn't plan to take over like most diesels do.
Is that
Chad?
Stan! It's really you!
Hey! Long time no see!
So, you two know each other, right?
Jackaroo, everybody, this is Stan. He and I went to Train Elementary School together.
Oh, yes, it's true. We were in the same grades and had some of the same teachers.
And we were the perfect study partners for all of our tests until after the 5th grade. In fact, I think the last day of 5th grade was the last time we've seen each other. Well, I'm glad to see a reunion. I brought Stan here to help with the extra shunting we've been needing recently. Cody and Moody are a hand at bringing fast passenger delivery, but that means the amount of coaches and freight cars to shunt is increasing from gaining popularity.
Well, sir, you called in the right engine. I can shunt all that rolling stock of yours faster than the candle can melt all the way down. I'm not like any other diesel you may know of.
How so? His amazing features. Tell everyone about them, Stan.
I'll be glad to, Chad. You see, my wheels are fitted with traction tires that give me extra grip for hauling the heaviest trains. I also run on special diesel fuel from the mainline that gives me mainline train speed power. Finally, I have lengths of steel behind my side plates and between my wheels that I call rail hooks. They're attached to the rails and can be guided smoothly on them with rollers that you can't see, so unless I get pushed off the tracks, I can't derail.
Wow, Stan! You're lucky! I wanted tires on my wheels too, but they never always seem to stay on.
You could break a record for never derailing longer than anyone else.
A welcome from, où donc j'aime figure à Guayo.
Okay then, I'm looking forward to seeing your skills, Stan. Can you tell us more about yourself?
Sure.
At that moment, Eric arrived and saw Stan. Hello, who's this? Nobody replied. They were too busy listening to Stan talking about himself. Can anyone hear me? I made it. There was still no answer, as if Eric was unnoticed. Okay, you know I'm here, right? Right? You guys? Shh! He's giving us some information about himself.
And then, once I honked my horn, the avalanche came down over one of my enemies.
Wow! I wouldn't have known an engine could be that brave.
Me neither. But break time's over now. You must get back to work. And Chad, will you show Stan around?
Yes, sir. I'll teach him everything he needs to know.
Every engine but Eric puffed back to work, and Stan followed Chad. Oh, Eric, I didn't know you were here. Sorry I'm late. I was just stuck at I need you and our new engine Stan to take a trainload of grappling hooks and ropes to S-Smart tomorrow evening. The two of you are also going to work as a team to get the train set up so he can learn the basics of my railway. Okay, but Mr. Melmert ran off in a hurry to get back to his office, but Eric thought he was ignoring him on purpose because of Stan, whose attention was on all of his friends. They have to start talking to me sooner or later, right? Unfortunately for Eric, nobody talked to him at all today. Not even the humans. They were too fascinated by Stan and his features to notice the number 3 engine on the railway. Stan learned and explored the railway with his old friend, and the more he explored, the more known he became. Word of Stan's abilities spread around New York. No one had ever seen or heard of a diesel train engine like himself before. He was an attraction to the American public indeed. Eric was sad. Chad and Melmert were the only ones who had spoken to him today. Now it was getting late, and still no one talked to him, as if he was invisible. As he waited for the signal, Eric heard something. Stan came whooshing by pulling his very first freight train, and Chad could barely keep up with him. The new blue diesel engine was thundering fast and smoothly, easy as 1, 2, 3.
Wow, can you believe how fast he can go? Who wouldn't? And look, he's going around that sharp curve quicker than Chad without derailing himself or those heavy-looking cars.
Okay, I'll meet you back at the sheds tonight. Whew! Oh, he's so strong. Well, that's just great. That's just more great than a human trying to touch his back without bending his elbow. Wait a second. What does Chad mean he'll meet him back at the sheds tonight? He's sleeping in my berth tonight? Sorry, Eric. All the berths in Cody and Moody's shed are packed with the extra cars we've been getting. You'll just have to sleep in a tent we built you till we can make room for Stan. Why can't he sleep in the tent? Because we're trying to make him feel at home. Eric's tent was in a noisy place close to the big city, and all night long that poor old Pufferbelly was kept awake as he thought about Stan the whole time. By morning, Eric's eyelids were as heavy as 50-pound barbells, and Stan remained in his mind. The driver and fireman tried to make Eric start, but he wasn't trying. When he eventually arrived at the station, Mr. Melmert told him that Stan was taking over his passenger train today. First of all, you're late. And secondly, I just need to see how well he can handle coaches. The passengers were already on board Eric's coaches with Stan hooked up. When the conductor called out, "All aboard," Stan pulled out smoothly. Nearby people cheered as they saw him. Stan, my friend, I know for sure that you'll be a great passenger engine. This isn't fair. He's a diesel engine who keeps replacing me because I'm not as good as him, and everyone keeps ignoring me. I must put a stop to this nonsense. 5 o'clock at evening, it was time for Eric and Stan to get ready to take the grappling hooks to S-Smart, a department store in the middle of city with a special slogan called, "Shop with your smart ways." There was to be a Black Friday sale tonight on the hooks themselves, but as Eric puffed into the harbor yards, he was up to no good. If I can prevent that Stan from being able to work with me, I'll have to pull the train solo, and maybe I'll be noticed again. I'll control him from taking over if it's the last thing I do. I shall not be forgotten by any sort of diesel.
Soon the train was complete, and Eric had a plan to get rid of Stan. Lie, to distract him so he could sneak out with the train on his own. He was certain that it won't fail.
Okay, Eric. Are you ready to go?
Oh, I'm ready, all right. But wait, is that a whale I see?
What whale?
Out there, in the ocean.
I can't tell from here. I better take a closer look.
So Stan rolled onto a high dock ledge to see the ocean. Far below the ledge was a barge full of fish. It was scheduled to take it over to a faraway land overnight, where the fish would be brought to market by morning. Eric snickered.
Now for my plan.
Slowly but surely, the snorting engine forced the loaded boxcars down the tracks. But Eric hadn't been thinking straight. He'd been thinking crooked.
Wait! Stop! Don't leave me here!
Stan heard the conductor plus other men shouting at Eric to halt. He hurried back just in time before the train went over the switches.
Whoa there, dude. Mr. Melmoth said that you're supposed to let me go with you.
Now Eric was really angry indeed.
Are you feeling alright?
You diesels are always trying to take over steamy population. It's always been that way since before I was born, and I'm sick of it.
Well, yes, but not all diesels are like that, right?
I don't think so. Your popularity is turning my life into a complete waste of space. What do I have against a blue mixed traffic diesel? Nothing. You have frustrated me for the last time.
I don't understand. I'm only trying to be a good worker.
Shut up, you dirty diesel. You must be avenged.
In a great rage of fury, Eric broke his coupling between his tender and the cars and shoved Stan back onto the dock ledge. He banged him hard into the buffers, but they weren't secured. Eric only meant to bang Stan, not push him overboard. But what didn't matter then, the troubles were only beginning. A rope between the barge and the pier came undone, and Stan began to drift away out to sea.
Help! Help me! The barge is out of control! I got no operator! And all this fish stinks!
What have I done? How could I think to do this? I don't like Stan, but not enough to make him disappear forever. Oh, if he doesn't stay on these New York lands, I'll never forgive myself again. Wait a sec. The hooks! Driver, get me one of the grappling hooks out! We need one to rescue Stan! Right.
Thinking quickly, a workman handed Eric's driver a crowbar. Then he used it to open one of the grappling hook crates in the freight train. Then he rushed the hook over to Eric.
Stan! We're gonna throw a grappling hook to you so we can bring you back to land!
Hurry! I'm gonna be lost!
Got him!
With the strong rope fastened in between, Eric gave a great heave. His pistons pumped with pain and his wheels screeched with sparks, but he never gave up. At last, Stan was back at the pier. The barge pilot quickly ran down the steps and tied the rope tight. It was all over now.
Whew, I've done it.
Soon Stan was back on the rails and the grappling hook train was given to Johnny. Stan's driver, who had jumped clear before the drop, was checking to see if Stan was okay. No one was hurt, but Mr. Melmoth came to see everything.
A very good piece of heroism. Eric, you were so brave, I hear. It was my fault, sir. I'm the one who pushed him.
Eric told Mr. Melmoth everything that had happened from the start.
Oh, now I see. Everything's been so rough for you lately. Well, my dear Eric, Stan isn't here to replace anyone. He didn't mean to take your sunshine away. Every engine in my railway is a part of a certain key role in service to the country, and that's to keep the gift of God strong and alive.
Stan wants to be that way just like you do. But parts of him make him a very popular engine. He's different from what I am. I'm just an old smoker who makes results more worse than diesel can cause when they crash. True, but they're never worse enough to keep your kind terminated from existence. Every engine is special in their own ways, and if something's not right, you should always get the full details of what's happening before making your first thoughts. I'm proud of all the engines I got, no matter how different or popular each one is. You know what? I have to agree. I just wish I didn't get so cranky. I'm sorry for yelling at you, Stan, and for pushing you into that barge. I'm not mad anymore.
That's all right, Eric. And don't worry about me. I just need to go and get a wash down.
Can I come with you so we can start over?
Okay.
You're still in trouble for doing something so silly.
Several weeks later, Eric's opinions on Stan improved. They were now very good friends, and Eric was no longer ignored anymore. Everywhere he goes, he whistles hello, and the local New York residents are glad to see him. Stan remained popular with everyone, but Eric doesn't care now. He knows that it doesn't mean that no one likes him anymore. After all, friendship is something you can't always control over. It's just a natural part of nature that requires a little time and patience.